When that love from coast to coast, man. Planting them seeds so you know we growing. Believing in us, damn right we know when. Ain't got time for the stress and pain. No time for hate, no time for games. It's time to take it up. Take it up. We gon' take it up. Hey.
Real talk for real life. Real talk for real life.
Welcome back to Real Talk for Real Life. So excited to be here today with you all. I am Sherri and your host, and I am here with the beautiful Miss Alexandra Rosa. And today we're here at M.Psy, one of my favorite spots, calming, right?
Very. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Relaxing.
It's like, it's a hidden nook,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
I would have never thought that this place was here.
Yeah. So this is my go-to spot, especially after Pilates. I love coming here. The food is great. The service is great. So we definitely want to give a shout out to M.Psy.
Oh, absolutely. And the fresh juices.
Listen, guys, we are here today to talk about the power of the pause.
Yes.
So as this is Autism Awareness Month, we wanted to pay homage to all the moms out there
Absolutely.
who are raising neurodivergent children. And I happen to be one of them. And
Same.
And so we're coming here today to just talk about the importance of pausing when we need to pause and shedding light on some tools and resources that we can use as women who are raising neurodivergent children so that we can continue the journey, because at times that journey can be very challenging, right, Alex?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
we'll talk more about
yeah,
that.
we'll talk more about it. But I'll tell you this, it's absolutely amazing too, because those babies are so unique
Yeah.
and they have amazing gifts. So I want to let you know that Real Talk for Real Life is being brought to you all by Women of Dynamic Change, a 501c3 nonprofit. And our mission is to break down any barriers that keep women from being able to reach their full potential. And we're doing that right now. We're going to be giving you all some tools, and Miss Alex is going to share about some modalities that we can use as women. We also do it by providing opportunities for women to connect and collaborate.
Yes.
Right? And also just by being a support ground for those women during the time of transition, because as women, we go through so many different things, right? Whether or not we have children at all, but as women, we're faced with a lot of different challenges and wins. And so sometimes we need help navigating that. And so that's what Women of Dynamic Change is all about.
Awesome.
So listen.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So this is not your first time on Real Talk for Real Life. So welcome back, and thank you for accepting the offer to be back here with us. Your presence is always a blessing. And I want you to tell the world a little bit more about yourself, Alex, and all the amazing things that you're doing, because you really inspire me. And I just want you to tell the audience about why you went into this field of wellness as well.
Okay, so just a little bit about my background. I am a psychologist. I hold a master's degree specifically in industrial organizational psychology. I'm also a certified yoga teacher. I'm a certified Ayurveda wellness coach. I also hold a master's in life coaching. I'm well studied, let's say, in the topic. I also a 24-year in veteran teacher who work with children with autism as well. So education for me in all forefronts is my heart.
Okay.
Whether I'm educating children, educating women, educating the population, whatever it might be, education is my drive, right? I am the CEO and owner of the Blooming Sunflower. I came into this holistic space for many reasons, many reasons. But the most personal reason was to how can I better take care of my family in a more holistic way. I've always taken care of myself. I've exercised, I've ate right. But I started watching the people around me, the people who I love, health really truly deteriorate. And I'm like, you have all of this knowledge. You have all of this practice. How can you give this moving forward? So I started off with my family. I started off in my inner circle. And then I said, wait, hold on. An entire business where I'm sharing my love, my passion, and my knowledge to others. And that has brought me to this space today. And I really truly believe that in our journey to greatness, we meet individuals along the way that really speak to our spirit. And you have really spoken to my spirit. And we share so many things in common. So to be in this space today, I live in a space of gratitude to continue to be able to share my gift to the world. And thank you for providing this platform for us to do this.
Welcome. And again, it's all about passion.
Yes, it is.
It's all about
Yeah.
passion. And so when you find something that you're passionate about, it just comes natural. It's just
It
easy
does.
for you,
It
right?
does.
So I want to go ahead and get into the conversation because I really want to let that mommy know who's raising that neurodivergent child know that she's seen, right? And that she's not alone,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes.
She's definitely not alone. So what are some of the struggles that you feel mommies who are raising neurodivergent or autistic children go through that maybe the public is not aware of?
Information.
Yes.
Information it should be more prevalent, but it's not. Right? And so many individuals, the school district, the doctors are so quick to label a child, but they're not quick to give you solutions. One of the fundamental things that I thought about was, what is the solution? Because I'm a solution-based type of person. Right? What is the solution? Yes, you've diagnosed my child because I wasn't ready to put my child on any type of medication. I did my research. I looked at all of the side effects. What would work? And it was an easy road. And also it was a very draining one too, because you feel like you're truly alone and overwhelmed and just don't know where to go and where's the community and where's the support. So I think that that's one of the biggest things is you feel like you are alone in this, but you're not.
Right. No,
You're not.
definitely not. So you're right. I think the resources are not available in the way that they should be, Alex. For me, I'll share my personal story. Once we received the diagnosis, it was like, okay, where do I go from here? How do I figure this thing out? So I had to do my own research, right? I had to find out about HARD, which is something that in Miami, it's a way to get resources for that diagnosis of autism. And we'll speak a little bit more about that because I definitely want to share the phone number for those of you all who are in the South Florida area, because this is a resource that is very helpful, not just for the child, but also for the parents and the caregivers, right? And as mommies raising neurodivergent, you need all the resources that you can get. And so again, I had to dig. I had to dig and I had to figure out, okay, where do we go from here? So between speech therapy, between occupational therapy, some of us for our children have to have physical therapy, and behavioral health, ABA, it was taxing and it was overwhelming. All the appointments. And for me, I was doing it on my own and it was just a lot. And so again, platforms like this that are letting women know that, look, you're not alone. Okay. The resources are here. We're going to provide some of those resources, but what does burnout look like? Because I was burnt out. You hear me? You burnt out.
So I'm going to take it back before I answer that question. Okay. Understanding what the signs are is the first step. Okay. Right. Awareness. And I think the awareness. And I think a lot of times what happens is that we become in denial and we don't see the signs when our child is shifting. And that's the beginning of the burnout. It's the denial phase. Is my child is demonstrating all of these different signs and I don't know what to do. And some of us ignore the signs. Some of us are proactive about the signs and some of us are just confused because we just don't know. That's the beginning. It's the frustration, right? And it's the mental toll that it takes on us. And it really start to when we get to the point of now we're tired. Yes. Because we've done so much. For me in particularly, what happened was that because I'm such a vigilant person, right? I noticed my daughter distributing signs that just weren't her. And it was like from one year to another, the light switch just turned off. While she was 3, 4, 5, she was this happy child and just so vivacious and helpful. I started noticing different things. Like I would go into her room and it was like being a tornado had gone through it. It was Tasmanian devil, like everything everywhere.
Right.
And I'm like, what is going on?
Right.
So while a mother would immediately react, you need to clean your room, clean your room, clean your room, pick this mess up, do this, do that, right? I wasn't immediately aware that that was her mind spiraling. And these were signs.
Yeah.
These were signs of her mind spiraling. And that she started not having the capability to actually execute things. She went from one thing to another thing to another thing to another thing. And her attention span diminished. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? I had all of these things in place, the routine, the protocols, and I'm like, what's going on? So that was the first sign, right? I want to say to the mommies out there, pay attention to your child.
Yes.
Pay attention to what's going on in their lives. It's not about just asking the question, but paying attention what the answer is, right? And what's going on, because we communicate non-verbally 80% of the time.
Yes, that's correct.
And our children do too. And they don't have the advanced communication that we do as adults.
Well, some of us.
Right? Some of us.
Yes.
So I started paying attention to her inability to get to accomplish anything.
Okay.
She was getting frustrated very quickly. Schoolwork, having that communication with your child's educators is key and essential, because we live in a society where our child is with someone else most of the day. And these people, okay, are visually watching your child, and they know more than you do.
They do. And they see more.
Okay, and they see more.
Yeah.
You know, when you go to the school and they're like, yeah, they ain't the child that's in this school. And they see more. Having an open mind to receive the information, right? Having an open mind to receiving the information and really, truly seeking out what works best. I said, I need to finalize this and see what's really going on.
Okay.
So I made the appointment to the neurologist.
Right.
Made the appointment to the pediatrician.
Yes.
I made the appointment to the psychologist. And please understand that there are free resources.
Yes.
There are free resources out there. So don't feel stifled that if you're like, oh my God, I don't have health insurance or I don't have the money for this. That is so untrue. The school system, wherever your child goes to, there are nonprofit organizations out there that actually assist you in providing your child what they need, in guiding you as a parent on what are the next steps. And then there are a plethora of different other resources, and we'll talk more about it. But don't feel stifled that now, okay, this is what's going on. Now I don't know what to do.
Right.
Because I went to everybody and everybody. Okay. And I figured out what works best for us.
Right.
And what was ultimately the decision.
Right.
And, you know, and don't be embarrassed about it.
No.
Because more and more children balance going on in the world, and they really put the onus on us. They really put the onus on us. So don't be embarrassed for wanting to help your child succeed in this life.
Yeah. Well,
And
you're the biggest advocate.
And
The
advocating,
biggest advocate. You have to.
advocating
Yes.
for your child. Advocating for your child is so important. And putting the things that need to be put in place for your child.
Correct.
I can't stress that enough.
Yeah. Listen, I've had to advocate for my son in so many different ways within the school system and even within his own therapy, because every child requires something different, and you have to know what works for your child.
Yes.
And that's where that becoming aware. I'm glad that you brought that up, because a lot of times parents see the signs, but you know, they're in that state of denial.
Yeah.
And I always say it's better to just confront it, make that appointment to the neurologist or make that appointment to the pediatrician, right? So like I was saying, just that being in denial somehow, and what it does is it delays the care that your child needs. And the sooner you get that diagnosis, guess what? the sooner you get the help that is needed for your child. And so that was one of the things I saw early. My son was maybe about 13 months and he just wasn't meeting the milestones at all. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is not right. So I made that appointment to the pediatrician and say, well, they said, let's give it a couple more months. I gave it a couple more months and listen, I brought my son back to the listen, something's not right. So we made the appointment to the neurologist and we got the diagnosis. And so being in denial again, well, it's to the detriment of your child. I'm gonna tell you, because the earlier you get that help, you will see the progress in your child. And now my son is flourishing, and he at one point wasn't talking, and now he's talking too much. He's talking too much. Okay, and so that is the importance of again having platforms like this where women like yourself, myself, can come and say, you know what, this is okay. It's okay. Don't be afraid. Don't be in denial. There are resources, there is support, but you have to have that mindset. You have to be open.
You have to be open. And I do want to say this. A diagnosis is not the end all be all. It's not. It's a diagnosis should not tear your world apart. That's all it is. A diagnosis is making you aware of what the situation is so that you know how to move forward. A lot of times we become so embedded and depressed on the diagnosis. We don't know how to move forward. You get stuck.
Right line.
Okay. So I don't want you to get stuck there. I don't. All the diagnosis is just information. This is not a telltale sign of how your child is going to move forward. How your child is going to move forward in life is really up to you. It's really up to you. So let's not get stuck there. I really wanted to make that point clear because a lot of times we don't want to get the diagnosis because we fear.
That's true.
And we fear, oh my God, what next? Right? Let that fear go. This is just information. It's just information. And then with that information, then you know how to proceed.
Yeah, how to proceed. I'm so glad you brought that up. So for those mommies out there that may be seeing your child not meeting those particular milestones or seeing some changes with your child, just know, don't be afraid. Make that appointment. It's as simple as that. And I'm glad you made that point. It's not the end of the story. Actually, it's the beginning of a beautiful story that can be created. So thank you for that. Let's talk about burnout. For that mommy who's been raising that neurodivergent child, and she's having to take the child to physical therapy, OT, all the different disciplines that they need. What does that look like for that mom? Because I'll tell you, for me, burnout was like, I was completely tired.
Yeah, and you're going to be tired. You're going to be tired, but solution-based.
Okay.
Build that community. Okay. Even for my single mommies out there, build that community. There are community-based resources to address those burnout. But for me, the burnout came and I just couldn't deal with it anymore. Like I was just doing a lot. And I went in and that made me a stronger holistic coach because I'm like, wait, hold on. The same resources that I am providing for others, I need to provide that for myself.
Something that we forget.
Okay, we completely forget to take care of ourselves.
Yes.
So that made me a better person. It made me a better coach. It made me a better businesswoman. It really elevated my business because I'm like, I am pouring out to others. I need to pour into myself. The art of saying no. Ooh, when you feel burnt out, stop giving your time to unnecessary things. And it is okay if you're giving all of your time to your child, right? But build that community. Rely on friends. Rely on family. Okay. You know what? I need a 2-hour break. Can you watch and form? And you take that time, not those 2 hours that you're worrying about and calling and like, oh, is he okay? Is he okay?
Right.
No, you take those 2 hours for you, whether it's going to meditate, whether it's going to exercise, whether it's going to just sit down at Miami Squeeze and have a nice little smoothie. Whatever it is, you have to also take care of yourself. Put the oxygen mask on yourself because we really, truly need to take care of ourselves so that we can continue on and take care of others. but the burnout is real, and recognize what it looks like for you.
Correct.
And come up with a happy space.
Okay.
Okay. What is your happy moment? Is it reading a book? Is it going into the pool? Is it taking a trip to the beach? And incorporating those things into your life so that you can minimize the burnout. It's a lot between the doctor's appointments, between constantly being there. You need to take these moments for yourself so that you can rejuvenate.
Right.
You can't function on an empty cup.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
And you can't pour back into your child as well. And they need you. And so, like you said, put the oxygen mask on yourself first. That is so important. And as mommies, we forget that. We feel guilty about that a lot of the time. We want to keep going like the Energizer Bunny, but guess what? At some point, the Energizer Bunny
The batteries run out.
The batteries run out. Alex, I have tried it all. I have tried exercise. I have tried journaling. I have tried Pilates. I have tried reading. I have done the work in order for me to stay stable enough and to continue to pour back into myself so that I can give to my son. And it shows.
Yeah.
It
And
shows
don't
through
stop.
him. Right.
Consistency is the key.
Yes. Love it.
Consistently being there for your child, but also consistently being there for yourself.
Yes.
Because it does get better.
Yeah. It does.
And I have a 2-part story on that, but it does get better.
It does.
It does.
Please say that one more time.
It does get better.
Yeah.
It does get better. When you do the work, it gets better. It does.
The load becomes less heavy. I will honestly tell you that. And just like Alex said, take that moment. Take those moments, even if it's just an hour. Pour back into yourself, even if it's just, again, to sit down in the living room and do absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And that's the power of the pause. Pressing that pause button.
Yes. Listen, it's so important. It's so important.
Needed. It's needed. Last episode, I talked about that. I was getting ready for real talk, trying to wash clothes, trying to wash dishes, trying to do the things that mommy
sometimes the laundry is going to pile up.
There you go.
Okay, and you can be okay with that.
Yes, and you have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
You have to be okay with that. And that morning, I said, you know what? I'm going to sit down and I'm not going to do anything this Sunday. I'm not going to worry about the work week. I'm not going to worry about these clothes. They'll get washed tomorrow. And guess what? They may not even get washed tomorrow. The power of the pause, ladies. We have to do that for ourselves.
Listen, there's been days that I have stayed in bed all day.
Did you feel guilty?
I felt so guilty. And I had to have a conversation with myself. Self, I need this time.
Yes.
I need this time to rejuvenate, to get some rest, to get some sleep, to do what I need for myself. And the next day, it was so much better. I felt so much better. But yeah, the guilt is real.
Yeah, it is.
The guilt is real. And I just want to say that we need to surpass that, acknowledge the feeling. It is real, but also understand that you need you. Right? Because they need you.
Yes. And that those babies, those beautiful babies can feel your energy. They can feel when you're overwhelmed. They can feel when you're stressed or when you're irritated and irritable. They feel all. I want to talk about the mommy yoga in me that I went to.
Oh my God.
And I didn't have my little mini with me, my little me. However, I still attended and I walked away, Alex, feeling so refreshed. Talk a little bit more about what it is that you do, because I need mommies out here and even women in general and even men to hear what Miss Alexandra Rosa does.
So the mommy and me, right? It was really something that I cultivated because of my daughter, right? Being a yoga teacher, being a sound therapy therapist, I incorporated all of these things to help her regulate her nervous system. It's one of the one of the few practices that we do at home when she is overwhelmed and when she can't concentrate and focus. I want to definitely let you guys know that music therapy, sound therapy is essential if you have a little one at home that is dealing with autism, dealing with ADHD, ODD, some behavioral issues. This is a really good way to help them regulate their nervous system. It also builds on concentration.
Okay.
It also helps with communication.
Okay.
So there has been studies done over and over again how music frequency actually helps the body
Okay.
and heal the body and kind of realign the brain waves in your mind. So for kids who are dealing with these exceptionalities, this is a very great tool. Art therapy is also a very great tool to use. Movement, yoga, soft guided movement for your little one, also great practice. So when I was looking for resources and I was researching, I was the resource. I was like, wait, hold on. All of these holistic modalities that can heal my child, that's my business. That's what I practice.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Wait a minute.
why not get all the mommies out there together and really bring their babies along and really introduce them to what these modalities are.
Right.
You know, because we go to the Pilates classes and the yoga classes and meditation classes, but we don't really bring our children with us. So I really wanted to open that door and expand because music therapy, specifically in my house, has been a lifesaver.
Okay.
My oldest, EJ, who just turned 21, and when I say it gets better, it gets better. I remember when he was young and his social skills were off and his inability to communicate properly was really something that we struggled with. The impulsivity is something that we struggled with. This kid today and me, hey, are you okay?
Oh, right.
Because he feels my energy.
Yes.
So when I tell you that it gets better because we consistently have had these holistic modalities in place in our house, and music therapy for him was a lifesaver, where now he is a musical theater major. Oh, you'll listen to him in his room singing his lines. And it helped him process things better.
Right.
That's what I do.
Okay.
Okay. I incorporate sambo therapy, music therapy with guided meditation, visualization, and yoga all into one to help regulate your little one's nervous system, to help them. And with constant practice, you will see that they will learn how to communicate better. They will learn how to regulate themselves better, because that's one of the things, right? They don't know how to regulate themselves. So you'll see that they actually can regulate themselves. So if you are in the Miami-Dade and Broward and Palm Beach area, I do have a Mommy and Me coming up on May 2nd. So you can go to my website, www.thebloomingsunflower.com, and sign up there. It's a small fee for you and your baby. It's only a one-time fee, so that you can actually experience what that looks like and learn those practices that you can actually use at home.
Correct.
But if you are unable to make it, the beautiful thing is that I have created a YouTube channel for children and adults that incorporate music therapy and guided meditation. And you can just go on my YouTube channel at The Blooming Sunflower Wellness, and you can play these 10-minute, 12-minute, no longer than 15-minute guided meditations for your baby in the morning, in the car, in the evening before they go to bed. I play it for my daughter all the time. And she's like, oh, I love listening to your videos, Mom. It's just like if you were in my room with me. So it helps her regulate, right? And sleep for children is so important. Well, for everyone.
For everyone.
Right? But if you are dealing with a child under the spectrum, like, sleep is very important for them, because this is where their nervous system regulates. And that is the key here, is learning how to regulate and help them regulate their nervous system.
So I'm gonna I'll tell you, and I got to keep it real because this is real talk. That was in the beginning when I first started this journey with my son. I was terrified to take him out. And I'm going to be honest. I have to be honest because he didn't know how to self-regulate. And so with time, we found the needed therapies, and music happens to be one of those because he loves music. But now when I take him somewhere, if mommy says no, guess what? Like he used to be, right? And he knows how to self-regulate his behaviors now. And so music is a big part of that. And I love that you mentioned that. And so, Alex, listen, I want to just tell the audience how important this is, not just for our babies, our unique babies, but it's also important for mommies to participate.
Absolutely. That's why I'm inviting both the mom and the child.
Please.
Because this is so important for us. This is a way of giving ourselves to regulate our nervous system as well. Because when we don't regulate our nervous system, we are more prone to snap. We are more prone to really fall into a deep depression. We are more prone to really pass that negative energy on to our children. And we really want to take care of ourselves first. So this platform that I have created is for everyone. It's for both the mommy and the child. Okay. It's teaching the mother or the father, because let's not exclude those single fathers out there
that are doing a fantastic job.
Who are doing great. And I've had plenty of conversations with daddies on their child and self-regulate. So look at that platform. I also help with guidance and nutrition, that's a biggie. That's a big component as well. My child knows Takis are not allowed in my house, but I'm that person. Right? I'm the label reader. I'm the one making sure that not necessarily eating everything organic, but making sure that we're eating clean.
I love that.
Right? And that like I am providing the fruit snacks that are clean, the chips that are made with olive oil or coconut oil that are not inflammatory to the brain, providing cooking food and joining in on those activities. Cooking has become a staple in my house. We put Irie into cooking and she loves it. Not only is it teaching math and science and STEM, but it's also giving her an ability to manipulate her hands and then do something with me. Right? So we're in the kitchen together and we have that one-on-one time. So it is about how can you incorporate, if you feel that you're overwhelmed and you don't have time, what can you do with your child together that is enjoyable, right? Because if you feel like, well, I'm with my child 24/7, which I typically am, what are the things that we can do together that's enjoyable for us? And cooking has become one of those things that's enjoyable. Plays the trumpet. That's another enjoyable thing that she does with her father. So there's so many different things. Take a look at your life. But most importantly, this platform, it was created for the woman, right? But now we want to bring our babies along. Definitely. With us because they're watching everything that you do. They're watching everything that you do. They are mimicking what you do. They are learning from your experiences. They're learning how to self-regulate because you're self-regulating. So you need to take care. Again, I'm going to keep going back to that. Take care of yourself first. Okay, self-regulate, learn how to regulate. And then you are teaching that to your little one. Okay, we are the first educators in their lives. I cannot stress that enough. Don't leave that to the hands of.
Time you come on live, you always drop nuggets, and I'm just so happy that you were here to share all these.
Thank you so much.
Valuable tools, and it's important. Again, give back to yourself. We can't do it on an empty cup. I know it sounds cliche, but it's true. Okay, so we got to give back to ourselves so that we can show our children, right? We can be that role model for our children. And so one of the things you mentioned, and that's something that I do, my son and I, we love music, so we do karaoke together. Right? So that's a way for me to release a lot of stress because I love to sing. He loves to sing. And so finding those ways where, okay, of course, mommy has to have me time, but then what about mommy and me time? So love everything that you're doing, Alex, and keep doing what you're doing. So proud of you. You're such a role model an inspiration
Oh,
for
I
myself.
really
Really,
appreciate
really. And so before we close out today, Alex, I want you to just drop one lesson, one valuable tool for our mommies and caregivers in general who are raising our neurodivergent children. And what's one thing you want to leave with them so that they can take with them to be able to continue this navigating this life?
First and foremost, I want to say you're not alone.
I love it.
You're not alone.
No.
Okay. Oftentimes we feel that our problems are just our problems and that we are going through life in this bubble and that we become overwhelmed. That is just your mind tricking you and telling you, trying to protect you from something. Find a community in your space, wherever you are, that actually speaks to the struggles that you're going through. Believe me, we are out there. We are out there. And then truly find what works best for you. This is not a one size fits all. We're talking about different holistic modalities, but maybe these modalities may not work for your child because they are auditory sensitive or they need more manipulation. So find what works best for you. Speak to an expert. Okay. Reach out to family and friends. Know that you're struggling too and that you need their help. Set those boundaries in place so that you can be able to function properly. Because at the end of the day, you need you and they need you. Okay. So there is a community, foster a community. But if there's not a community, create your community. I created a community. Okay. And then people just started pouring in. So if you can't find a community, create the community. Be the sounding board, okay? And invite people in. And you will see how it gets so much easier.
It does. And speaking from personal experience, it does get easier. Fine. They say it takes a village.
It does.
It really does. It takes a village. And I want to say, let the audience know again. I know you mentioned it before, but please let them know how they can find you.
Oh, please. Listen, if you are in the South Florida area, don't hesitate to reach out. Log onto my YouTube channel at The Blooming Sunflower Wellness as well. You can shoot me an email, contact, support you. I'm here to educate you. You have a community within.
I love that. And, I just want to add, because I'm, here on Real Talk for Real Life, we're such big advocates for mental health. Yeah. And for those mommies, dads, caregivers who just find that they're in a place where it just feels really overwhelming and you need that extra help, don't hesitate to get mental health therapy from a licensed professional. I just want to touch on that too. For those people who are, or those parents or caregivers that just feel so overwhelmed, they don't know which way to turn. I had to do it for myself. So I'll, again, Real Talk for Real Life. So important. It is. So important. I'm still in therapy now. Gosh. Okay.
And that is amazing. That's amazing thing. But the interesting thing is that within the community, we have mental health therapists. Yes. We have individuals who will be able to not only assist you, but assist your child as well.
Correct. So this has been an amazing episode. I
love it.
You always bring it.
Thank you.
And so before we close out, I just really want to say that if you all are in the Miami-Dade or South Florida area, you need assistance. If you need assistance, you guys can reach out to the Center for Autism and Related Disabilities. And I'm just going to give you the phone number. It's 305-284-6563. This is for Miami-Dade and Monroe counties, and for the Broward County area, 954-262-7111. Reach out. The resources are here. We're providing it for you all. You have Miss Alexandra Rosa, and now you have this information about the Center of Autism and Related Disabilities. We don't want to leave you feeling like you're alone, because you're really not alone. We are two mommies that are doing our things, right? Yes. We are doing it, and all the while just being able to pour back into ourselves so that we can give more to our children, right? That's what it's all about. And so I want you all to make sure you press that subscribe button. If something we said today touched you in any way. And make sure you follow us, guys. Make sure you follow us. We're bringing some good information and some dynamic and amazing guests, such as Miss Alexandra Rosa. You can follow them on all social media platforms, which includes Facebook, IG, and TikTok.
Awesome.
Listen, we are here to give you the resources and the tools and the education that you need to become the best version of yourself, ladies, and even for those gentlemen that are watching. So
Absolutely.
I want to say thank you. Thank you for being here today with us on Real Talk for Real Life. Thank you to Miami Squeeze for always providing great service, good energy, and great food. And I want to say this, if it's God's will, you'll see me again, Sherri, in the next episode next month on Real Talk for Real Life. Thank you, Alex. Thank you.